Hi, my dear Astro family. Today I wanted to share a very exciting topic with you, which I'm going to be teaching about starting on the 8th of October, and that's going to be money related. Now, I did make a money course previously, but this new course will not be covering any of those lectures. It's going to be new techniques I would like to introduce to you how to spot money in your chart. Now, in the first course, we went through some very important factors, such as the second house ruler, what sign we have got on the second house, what type of aspects we need to have to make money. But in this course, we're going to be exploring additional techniques. So we're going to be looking at Saturn Jupiter cycle and your business opportunities. We're going to be looking at North Node and your finances. Did you know that the planet North Node is going to be making a conjunction to the very first time? It can be actually a financial planet in your chart. So, for example, if you have got North Node in the sign of Cancer, and the first conjunction North Node is going to be making in your chart, for example, is Mars in the sign of Pisces. Mars becomes a financial planet. We're going to be looking at Moon as your spending habits and how Moon plays a very significant role in financial astrology. We're going to be looking at the prenatal eclipses because the prenatal eclipse obviously includes the Sun and the Moon combination, and both of them are extremely important when it comes to your finances. So we're going to be looking at how to work with the prenatal eclipse degree in your chart. We're going to be looking at the center of your finances, which is the fourth sign from your financial planet, and how to get that activated. We're going to be looking at Venus-Mercury cycles and how they connect to your finances. Remember, Venus is the general significator of money, alongside with Pluto and Neptune. Jupiter can show money opportunities as well. And Mercury is something to do with trading, buying, shopping, and so forth. We're going to be looking at path of fortune, a completely new way to approach your path of fortune. We're going to be looking at your path of fortune chart and what it can talk to you about, how to bring that together with your finances. And finally, we're going to be looking at Jupiter, Pluto, midpoint as one of the indicators of mega rich people. So if you are interested in this course, then I recommend checking out the link in the description box below and save your spot. Now, today I want to share some very interesting money indicators in the chart, and do let me know in the comment box below how many you have. The more you have, the bigger the opportunity is that you're gonna have some really good money on the way to you. So number one, and oh, by the way, these listing is not going to be in order of importance. So it's just randomly I'm picking them. One of the indications is that if you have got Jupiter on the ascendant and midheaven midpoint. Now, I might want to share my screen for you just for a couple of seconds so I can explain what midpoints I'm going to be looking at. By the way, here is the description of the new course if you want to be checking out what happens there. So I'm going to be just bringing up, for example, any of the natal chart. Maybe I'm going to bring up my chart so you can have a look. And then what you want to be focusing on, you want to be looking at where Jupiter is in your chart, and you want to be finding where Pluto is in your chart. And then you want to be measuring the distance between them two by degree. So because each sign is about 30 degrees, so it means that Pluto is on 29 degrees, so that needs about 1 degree to reach Scorpio. Obviously, Scorpio is going to be 30 degree and Jupiter is on 7. So you're just going to have to add up the degrees here. Now, that's going to be 1 plus 30 plus 7. So that's 38. The arc between them two is approximately about 38 degree. And then you want to divide that by 2 because we are looking at the midpoint of those. And that's going to be somewhere around 18, 19 degree of Scorpio. So 18 and 19 degree of Scorpio is a hot zone in my chart. That's a money-making point. Typically, the richest people have got the sun, for example, on the midpoint of Jupiter and Pluto, or Jupiter is on the midpoint of the ascendant and the MC. So again, you're going to be looking at where MC is, where the AC is, you're going to get their arc, the shortest arc, and then you're going to halve that, and then you're going to look at the midpoint, and let's say, in my case, for example, let's say it's going to be on 21 degree of Capricorn, just as an example, okay? Of course, you can calculate that. So 13 degree left in the sign of Sagittarius plus Capricorn is 30 degree plus Aquarius is another 30 degrees. So that's with 60 plus 13, 73 plus the 2 degree for the ascendant. So that's 75. I'm going to divide that by 2, which is about 37 degree. Right? So that means that my ascendant and midheaven midpoint is going to be on 13 minus 37. So that's going to be 27, 24, around 24 degree of Capricorn. Now, when you are working with midpoints, give a very tight orb, not more than 1 degree. It's a really important rule. So because Mercury is close by on 21 degree, it doesn't mean, unfortunately, that it's sitting on the midpoint of my ascendant and the midheaven. However, idealistically speaking, you would like to see Jupiter being on the midpoint of your ascendant and midheaven. That basically becomes a success point in your chart. Another very big one is if you look at the arc between Mars and Jupiter, and then basically Pluto is sitting on that midpoint. That's also an indication of extreme success and money-related matters. The Sun and Jupiter-Pluto midpoint I've already mentioned to you. Jupiter and Neptune midpoint can be also a very successful point in your chart. Neptune as the higher octave of Venus, which is a representation of money. So Neptune can represent loads of money. And Jupiter is also about abundance and luck. So those midpoint can be pretty significant if you have got something sitting there. It typically indicates that you can do success without much effort. Now, here, idealistically speaking, you always want to see a personal planet sitting on that. So let's just cover some of these midpoints. So I mentioned to you the Jupiter ACMC, the Pluto-Mars-Jupiter combination, and also mentioned to you the Pluto and Jupiter midpoint. So we have got 3 indications so far. Now, when it comes to Jupiter-Uranus midpoint, and that's going to be the 4th one, that really talks about a lucky break. Often we have got great, it's kind of like a good intuition point as well, where you can have fortunate ideas. Typically, these people can be inventors, fortune tellers, fortune hunters. So if you have got any planet sitting there, especially one of your financial planets, so the ruler of the 2nd, 5th, 8th, or 11th house, that could be a good omen again for you from a financial point of view. One of the biggest ones I tend to be using is the Jupiter-Uranus midpoint, and the other one is the Jupiter and Pluto midpoint. That is especially true with the Sun. Jupiter-Pluto is about desire for power, leading the masses. It's a leadership point, and also very good for speculation as well. Typically, you would like to see out of these 5 indicators, minimum of 2 of them being somehow important. Now, additional considerations I would like you to look at. So I'm going to give you some statistics which are extremely important because it's just going to tell you that you increase the chances of making more money. 50% of the studied cases showed the sun being angular in wealthy people's chart. Now, whether you use Placidus house system, Koch, or Holstein house system, me personally, I use Holstein house system, but I leave that with you. So if the sun is in an angular house, and basically that's the first, fourth, seventh, and the 10th house, that gives a 50% of the rich people had it there. That's quite a huge percentage. Next one. If you were born with a Saturn, Jupiter, new moon phase, what it means is that Jupiter is slightly bit ahead of Saturn in your natal chart. And here I'm also gonna just bring up my chart so that I can illustrate that for you in case this is a completely new concept for you. But what you want to be doing is that you want to be locating your Saturn and then you want to be locating Jupiter. If a new moon phase is lasting for about 45 degrees, so if Jupiter is maximum 45 degree ahead of Saturn, like in this case, Saturn is there and Jupiter is approximately 33 degree away from Saturn, that is actually another success indicator from a financial point of view. Saturn Jupiter cycles are talking about business opportunities. 30% of the studied charts of rich people had Saturn Jupiter in new moon phase. Interestingly enough, 70% of the studied charts had Sun somehow connecting to the fourth house or the fourth house ruler. Fourth house is talking about your fixed assets. So most likely this is the reason. Let me tell you another one. Saturn in connection with the first house. 90% of the rich people have that connection, either the first house or the ruler of the first house. For example, you might be having Saturn, for example, in the ninth house, in Scorpio, for example, trining your ascendant. That's already a connection there. 80% of rich people have got somehow moon in connection to Jupiter or Saturn. Now, when I'm talking about connections, we are talking about the 5 major aspects. And you can even include the parallel and the contra-parallel aspects as well. Typically, the strongest one is always going to be the conjunction, followed by oppositions or squares. So 80% of the rich people have got moon somehow in positive. Typically, though, here I would like to add that it's either conjunction, trine, tend to be the most successful one, to Jupiter or Saturn. Also, 30% of the rich people had more masculine planets rather than feminine one. So the masculine planets, what I mean by that is that they are in masculine signs. So the masculine signs are Aries, Gemini, Leo, Libra, Sagittarius, and Aquarius. And what is most likely not the most shocking, but this is going to hit you very well, 94% of the rich people have got an aspect between the second and the 10th house rulers. Either what you're going to see there is that the second house ruler is going to be in the 10th house, or the 10th house ruler is in the second house, or those two planets have got some harmonious aspects going on between them too. 94% of those people gonna get rich. I mean, this is very, very interesting. Some other factors I would like to give you as a consideration. 8 out of 10 wealthy people have got moon in trine to their personal planets. 7 out of 10 people have got a Jupiter trine happening in their chart. 6 out of 10 people have got the second and the eighth house rulers in trine. 6 out of 10 rich people have got a positive aspect between Moon and Jupiter. Typically, the richest people have no 12th house ruler afflictions to the second house, eighth house, fifth or 11th house ruler. So here you want to be looking at the ruler of the 12th house. Does that make any connection to the ruler of the second house, for example, by any of the aspects? The 12th house is talking to you um, about losses. And the last one I would like to mention to you today, that the richest people have got loads of water or earth elements in their chart. The number one element is water element, followed by earth. Earth, I think, makes sense for most of you because it's connected to success. That's about money, stability. And water element is something to do with going with the flow. Maybe they are a little bit more of the risk taker, or also they are able to listen to their own intuition as well. So guys, these are, let's say, the top 13. I haven't counted them. The top 13 indications of wealth in your chart. There are a lot more, but I'm going to share these with you in the upcoming course. So if you are interested, please check it out. I think it has got a really reasonable price, and I'm hoping to see you there. I would like to mention, if you do not have any of these combinations, you're always going to have a transit coming to them. So always look out for example, where your Jupiter and Pluto midpoint is. And then when you have got a transit coming to that, that midpoint is getting activated for you. And you need to be using the activating planet to make a lucky break for yourself. So for example, let's say Jupiter and Pluto midpoint is on 18 degree of Scorpio, for example. If you have got, let's say, Jupiter transiting that point, then you're going to have to use Jupiterian traits to make that wealth for you. Jupiter is about faith, travel, optimism, education, travel industries, and so forth. So use the meaning of that planet, because that could be giving you tips how to make a little bit better money for yourself. Guys, I hope you like this video, and then if you did so, please press like and subscribe to the channel so that I can make more free content to you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.